Hi, and today we are talking to Tommy Reitmeyer, who's a runner's marathoner, one of my teammates. Um, so, Tommy, let me start by asking you, how did you get started with running?
I got started with running. I started losing weight. I was at a, I like to say I was at a Tupperware party, but it was actually an isogenics party. And I don't remember if you were there or not at Alyssa's house. And I was about to leave because I hate parties. And I looked across the room and there was all these medals hanging off the wall. And I was like, I think I'll go check that out and then I'll leave. I walked over there and there were a bunch of marathon medals. And like a fool, I said, I was thinking maybe one day I'd run a marathon. I had started losing some weight and started jogging a little bit. I think the most I had gone was a half mile at that point. It was like 6 girls in a room. They all started laughing at me. And I'm like, I'm a little chunky, but I didn't think it was, a marathon. It's that big a deal, And they're like, no, we're laughing because we've all done marathons. And the lady sitting on the sofa was Marie Jarrell, who was a marathon coach, as you know.
Yep.
Next thing you know, I'm getting the whole spiel.
If Marie was in the room, you definitely got more information than you ever knew existed.
It was awesome. It's like you talk about the universe put me in the right place at the right time. She told me about this awesome group TNT and all about them, and they had I think it was that weekend they had a run coming up, and she gave me the information to go join those people, and I did, and the rest is history.
Nice. Now, had you run at all before? You said you were kind of jogging a little bit, but you hadn't, like, did you run in high school or anything like that?
This is a bad story. Why not? I used to hate doing sports in high school. I grew up in Florida, and actually me and this other skid dog, we talked the coach into letting us run the track while they were in the gym doing the basketball and the volleyball. I didn't want to do any of the team sports. And we would be running the track out there, just me and this other guy, and we'd be smoking. We'd be running the track smoking. I could light a cigarette running backwards in high school. So, and then me and my friend started running at night just to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And that stopped after high school. I never really did it again. And I had taken a few college courses like 5 years before that party I told you about. It was just a couple. And one of the English courses, the guy had us, what are you going to be doing in 5 years? And I couldn't think of anything to write. So I said, well, I'm going to lose some weight, and I think I might run a marathon. And then I just put it completely out of my head. And I was like, oh, my goodness, 5 years later, I ran a marathon.
Nice. The universe remembered.
Yeah, the universe remembered. I had no idea. And I was like, I had to look it up. I was like, I think that was really like 5 years ago I wrote that, and it was.
You wrote it down and made it happen.
Yeah, you got to be careful what you write down.
So you've done, I know you've done at least one marathon with team. How many have
The
you
last
done?
4.
Oh, wow, 4.
Four in a
Okay.
row. I did 4 in a row. I was going to do 5 this year, and I'm sure you heard today that they've canceled the Chicago Marathon.
Yeah, which is sad, but I mean, I think it's the right decision, but it is really sad to hear that the marathon isn't happening this year.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that was going to happen, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of, well, maybe it won't.
I think everyone's reaction has been, yeah, I kind of expected this, but it still makes me a little sad that it's not going on. When we get more back to normal and races, organized races start happening again, what race are you most looking forward to?
I was planning on doing 100K this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was my plan, and I was going to do 100K sometime this summer or towards the end of the year, and then do a 100-miler in February in Florida.
Oh, wow.
I did a 50-miler in Florida this year. February. It was a trail race. It was awesome. It was a real good time. I loved it. So, and Marie Jarrell has been telling me right along, I need to take a break. I need to take a break. You're going to hurt yourself. And she'll probably laugh at me when she sees this, if she sees it. And because I did, I ended up, when they started canceling all my races on me, I got bummed and I quit running.
Yeah.
and it might be almost 2 months since I've run at all. And
Really?
I'm planning on running a little tomorrow morning, and then I got this new, because I figure after doing this, I got to do a run. But I have been wanting to get started again. But I was thinking about it this weekend. I was like, I kind of did what Marie said to do
True.
without really planning to do that.
Mhm.
But I did give my body a good break, and I'm sure it needed it. So.
That's good. Now, are you somebody who enjoys running more with a group or by yourself, or is it a combination of the two?
I like running with the group by myself.
I
I like
totally
running with
get
the
that.
I like running with the group and catching up with people and having people catch up with me. Most of that, and because I'm not catching up with too many people, I go pretty
Me
slow.
neither.
But, having little conversations as we go, but not the whole time.
Yep.
So I find it, and I really like the races.
Yeah.
I like the training schedule to get to the race. That
Mhm.
keeps me motivated and keeps me going.
Yep.
If I have it written down that I need to do this, 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 and this, and this in order to get to this goal, then
Yep.
I'll do that. When they took all my races away this year, I was just like, oh man, it just took all the wind out of my sails.
Yeah, I find now, are you like me in that it's really hard to motivate yourself to just go out and run when you're not working towards that goal?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I have trouble with that.
Yeah, I've always found that very hard. I put it off and put it off, and then it's like, well, too late in the day. Oh well, I don't do it. I think the having the energy of other people around you makes a big difference,
Yeah,
and
and,
having
and,
that
and
schedule.
group runs that we do or did on Saturdays,
Mhm.
you're like, you gotta go, or these people are gonna call you up. Where were you?
Yeah.
And I've
Yep.
met
When
some
they
really
expect
good
you.
people. Met a lot of really good friends, and it's just fun to meet up with them and run, and then go have some breakfast and pack on some calories afterwards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we kind of hit on this a little bit when you're talking about making a lot of friends, but uh, besides the health benefits of running, what has it brought to your life?
Uh, just the idea that I could do whatever I want as long as I set my mind to it and go for it. Training for the first marathon. I mean, you train for your first marathon, and
Mhm.
every long run, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I just ran 4 miles. I
Mhm.
can't believe I ran 6. And then, it just keeps going and going. And I was somewhere around halfway through that training with Bobby. I was running, and I heard he had done an Ironman. And I just like, kind of cocky said, yeah, I think I'll do an Ironman one day. And a couple of weeks later, it's like, maybe I could. And talking to him about it, and it happened. I can
Mhm.
do whatever. It seems to me that no matter what I decide I'm going to do, I can do it if I put my mind to it. Really can.
Mhm.
And I've done a lot of really weird things since I did that first marathon.
It's a really powerful feeling, though, to know that you can do it.
Yeah, it is. I went to this is unrelated to running, but I went to a Tony Robbins thing, and he got me to walk across hot coals. So if I can run a marathon, I can walk across coals,
It's a much
and I
shorter
did.
distance.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It was.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting point because we've talked a lot about connections between people, but it does so much for you as an individual as well. I think you get benefits in both ways. um, so you said, I usually ask like what's your running routine been since COVID started, and you said you haven't been running, but um, when you get back into it, what do you think your routine's going to be like? Are you going to set that goal for yourself, or are you just going to put your sneakers on and see how it goes?
Well, tomorrow morning I'm going to jump out and start running. I'm just planning on doing a couple miles.
Mhm.
I still want to do that 100K, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, realistically, without any races that I can
Right,
train for, I'm not going to go do 100K by myself. That's for sure.
right,
I might be able to run 13 or 16 or 20 miles. I did 20 miles at the dang gym last year practicing for the 50 miler. That was a lot of fun.
That's a lot.
20
Ooh, around
miles
track?
around the track at the
My
Highland Park Rec
gosh.
Center.
Wow.
So I mean, but I had something I was training for. So I
Right.
had a goal I was pushing towards, and I mean, 100K would just be a little excessive.
Yeah, that would be rough. That would be hard to do by yourself. I think, that was one of the things that brought me to team was thinking, how am I ever going to get out and run even 12 or 13 miles, never mind 20 in training to do this? Um, so yeah, I hear you there. I don't think I could do that much running by myself. I just wouldn't do it.
You know what though? If you decided, if I decided that, for sure that race, because it's in Florida, and
Oh wow.
well, Florida a little wacky, they might run
Yeah,
that race.
they
I
could.
hear it going, I might just practice for it because it's only 12 miles more than a 50 miler. I mean,
True.
what's only 12 miles?
Yeah, when you've run 50, 12 miles is nothing.
Yeah, so I could do it.
So when you run, do you use music, or do you run quiet? And is it an introspective thing for you, or do you need that music to motivate you?
I kind of go both ways with that. When I started, it was all music.
Hmm.
And I did the first Chicago Marathon with music, and it died on me at like mile 20, and the
Oh,
next 6 miles were just brutal. But the next year, so I decided I was still training with music.
mhm.
Next year, I decided I'm going to go 6 or 10 miles without the music, and that way, when I turn it on, I'll know my batteries are going to last or
Gotcha.
whatever. And I had such a good time listening to everyone cheering and yelling. They yell your name when you put it on your shirt. It's one of the tricks team in training
Hmm.
taught me. Put your name on your shirt, and you get towards you start running out of energy, you run to the side. They say rooting you on. Hey, go Tommy, go Tommy. So anyway, I was hearing more without the music, and now I'm like, I don't listen to music when I'm doing the races now. I interact with the crowd. I try to thank all the volunteers. I thank the people with the signs, and
Uh-huh.
I feed off of that. I feed the more
Yeah.
I encourage the other runners,
Hmm.
the better I do.
Hmm.
I don't know why, but that's just the way it works. So yeah, but when I'm training, I most of the time I'll have music going. Dio.
Nice. Is that you usually listening to metal?
Oh yeah, I'm listening to
That's
Pandora. I got Ronnie James Dio radio
nice.
tuned up for sure.
Cool.
There's a
Uh,
lot of songs with running in it.
oh, no doubt. And then, the pace, like it's that 4/4 B over and over again. That's got to keep you going, right?
Oh yeah, we keep going.
Um, so what would you say to somebody who is maybe, in the position that you were in a couple of years ago, wondering if, well, should I start this? I don't know if I can do it. What would you say to that person?
I have said it to many people. If you want to do it, just start doing it, and you'll get there. I helped a guy in Florida who'd never run a race last year, and helped him get across the half marathon. I actually went down there and ran a 10K with him,
Mhm.
which was a lot of fun. And helping him helped me a lot. But anybody can do it. I mean, everyone's here. If I can do it, anyone can do it. It's true. I mean, I'm definitely. I wasn't any. I'm not in shape at all. I'm a little better than I was, but it's there's all size people out there doing it.
Yeah.
It's all right here. Once you
Yep.
decide you can do it, and it's
I think
Bobby, Mike, those guys will get you to do anything.
Yeah. But that's one thing that really struck me the first marathon that I did was looking around and seeing there's not a standard marathoner. You see all shapes and sizes and ages out there. Um, so it really is kind of an inclusive sport. You don't have to be tall and lean and look like a gazelle to finish a marathon.
Right? And everyone, I found the running community, they're all very supportive,
Hmm.
very, very supportive. And, just helping each other out as you're going. You see a lot of that in the races. So,
Yeah, especially near the back of the pack, which is where the fun is.
yeah.
Um, do you have any, when you look at like shoes and fuel and things, are you more brand loyal, stick with what I know, or are you more likely to experiment with different things?
I go into a running shoe store and tell them I'm an idiot, and just let them fit me. And
Mhm.
there's usually they'll watch you walk, and or
Mhm.
maybe put you on a treadmill, and then they'll give you like 3 or 4 different shoes, and you put them on. I run outside, run back, and I go by which ones feel the best. I start my first 2 pair were Brooks. I really loved them. I've had a New Balance pair, so I'm not brand loyal at all. I just go in and now the last pair I bought, I ended up it was a trail race and it had this big groove in the bottom of it, so I ended up having to stop and pull like acorns out of the middle of that
Oh my gosh.
that big groove. I did 50 miles of that though. It worked out,
Uh-huh.
but it was probably not the best pair of shoes for that race,
Right.
but it still worked. Yeah, I
And
go.
what about fuel? Do you use anything like goose or chews or anything like that?
I was using isogenic stuff
Mm-hmm.
mostly. They had this endurance gel fuel, and they quit making it last year.
Mm.
I love this stuff. It was like a little applesauce stuff, but now when I started doing the triathlons, started doing like pretzels with peanut butter in them,
Mhm.
and I got into hammer stuff.
Okay.
The hammer line got me through my 50-mile race. I hadn't thought too much about what am I going to eat for 12 and a half hours.
Oh yeah.
So I called Hammer up like 2 weeks before I had the race, and I talked to a lady there, and she's like, "Well, we'll send you this, this, and this," and she sent me all this stuff, and it wasn't what they say, you just nothing new on race day. It wasn't new, but it was real close to it.
Yeah.
But I made it through.
Nice. Um, what's your day before the race routine? Do you do you have a special meal you like? Is there, something you do to get yourself to go to sleep?
I do so many things, and they're all wrong. I'm telling you, I can tell you things you shouldn't do. Don't go to Oberweis at 10 o'clock at night before the Chicago Marathon. I did that one year. That was not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Mexican food tends to not be a great idea the day before, and I love Mexican food. Uh, the one thing, the spaghetti meal, I go to like Bella Via in Highland Park, and they've got a good meal that I'll eat. Um, but I've done some weird. No, I don't really have a standard. Half Ironman I did out of state somewhere. I ended up at eating a flatbread ice cream with apples on it at like 11 o'clock at night. We get to the house where everybody's at waiting for the race, and everyone's asleep, and I was just got done eating ice cream. So I don't know. I've got a pretty good stomach, I guess.
I ate a burger at Kuma's Corner one time before a race, and that was a big mistake. Um, if you see somebody, and we talked a little bit about encouraging other runners when you're at a race, what do you say to somebody who's having a hard time? How do you motivate them to keep going?
Well, I've pretty much just told people that I'll slow down with them and try to run with them for starters, and you can do this. What else can I tell them? You can do this. You've done this. If it's someone that I know, it's a little easier. But I try to encourage everybody as I'm going by them. But I'm not a coach, so I'm probably not the best person to ask that question to. But I try to encourage everybody. So you can do it. You've only got a few more miles to go. You know you're going to make it. It's just a matter of getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep going. Just one step at a time. You don't have to run the whole marathon. You can speed walk that. Marie she had me do that Ironman with a 5-minute run, 1-minute walk.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard for me to go into that mode because I was always trying to run as fast as I could. And
Yeah.
I did some races faster that way.
Mhm.
So,
Are
there's all
you
kinds
some,
of different runners.
are you somebody who runs for a specific time, or are you more about the experience, or both?
It started off trying to beat everybody. And I love the Chicago Marathon when there's so many purple people out there. Go team, go team. I love catching up to people, telling them go team, and then saying goodbye. Keep going. But I can't beat everybody, and I can't beat most of people. But my motivation is just to finish. I just got to finish. When it comes down to it, it's me against me. I'm
Right.
just trying to finish the race. I said I was going to come out and do this. I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it really comes down to. And as far as catching up to people, it's always fun catching up to people. And go team! How you doing? You doing fine? You need a gel or something? I got something. I gave one girl during training some leave. Actually, I gave a girl during training in the Chicago lakefront. She was having massive headaches, and she had nothing, and coaches won't give you anything. And I didn't have anything. So I started waving people down on the lakefront. Hey, has anybody got an aspirin? Anybody got an aspirin? Let's make it a fool of myself. Like the third person had an aspirin. So women have these purses. They carry everything in there.
Oh yeah, it's a black hole. It's like a tear in the space-time continuum. You can get
Yeah.
everything there.
So you're not supposed to take that stuff, but I'm telling you, leave has saved me many times.
Um, so is there anything else that you want to tell the world about running, how it's affected you? Um, any
I
words
think
of wisdom?
the best parts of it is, just finding out that you can push yourself to do things that you really didn't think you could do. I'm telling you, the marathon was way out of I didn't think I'd be able to do it. But then all the people you meet and the friendships you make is just amazing. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you meet a lot of very nice people. I've met some extremely nice people in running. I've not met any jerks, except for me. But other than that, yeah, a lot of good times, a lot of fun,
Great,
a lot of
great.
sweaty fun.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
haven't lived till you sat with 7 or 8 sweaty people at a breakfast.
absolutely. I think it's a bonding experience for
It
sure.
is. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me and for talking about running. And, good luck getting back out there. I hope you enjoy it.
I got to run tomorrow morning now. I've told a couple people.
Well, let me know how it goes.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.